Alrighty, so your New York Yankees have just gotten crushed 13-7, and that was in game 2. Game 1 was a worse loss. They lose in game 1 in Toronto by a score of 10-1. It looked like this was going to be a competitive and close series following what was a pretty close first few innings in game 1. Yankees offense looked awful for the first few innings of the game, and then they have bases loaded, no one out. Aaron Judge struck out, but Cody Bellinger walked right after, and you feel, all right, well, it's bases loaded, no one out, and Ben Rice at the plate. And I think that's probably the highest odds the Yankees have had of winning this series ever since then. Ever since that point in time, it has been a complete and utter just slop fest for the New York Yankees. So, look, I'm just really, this is just we're just in a weird spot. We're just in a weird spot. Like the Yankees are down 0-2. And unlike in like a best of 3 where you go down 0-1, it's like, well, it's a 3-game set. We've seen the Yankees, like it's not uncommon for a team to lose the first game of a 3-game set and then win 2 straight. It is far less common for a team to go 0-2 in the division series and then proceed to win that division series. But Chris, we'll get into all that and more here. I imagine you're not feeling great about the Yankees, but in general, how are you doing today, my friend?
Good, man. How was your birthday?
It was great. Went out and was a 21-year-old. So, yeah. That's the most I'll lead on. I'll give into what I did that night. It's kind of interesting. I'm talking as if like I can't say I drank a beer on a public setting now. Like this is kind of weird. Like,
I could tell. I just wanted to. I honestly like we don't really have a ton of happy to talk about today, so I want to lead off with like just wishing you happy birthday, hoping that the Yankees didn't completely destroy your birthday yesterday.
No, it was a good day. Stopped watching the game after they went down 6-1. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out. And I was like, I'm just gonna do this early. I was gonna do it after the game. I was like, just do it early. Yeah. Had a good time. Was out with my girlfriend, my brother, his girlfriend, and one of our very close friends who honestly is just family. So like I wouldn't even say it's a friend, just family. At that point. And it was a good time. Like went to a bar, nothing crazy, very low key night, but that's kind of how I wanted it. Good. Low key in the sense of like, I didn't like party, but not low key in the number of beverages consumed, I think is the best way to put it.
That's a good 21-year-old.
And honestly, like I'll be also honest in this sense, like the best part was probably the night before because my girlfriend and I went out and we got dinner at this place called it's called Smoky Bones. It's phenomenal. Like I couldn't recommend it more. Yeah. And so I enjoyed dinner. I like I like a good meal. And
I'm glad you enjoyed dinner. The next however long this podcast is will probably be a little bit less enjoyable. I think we're both pretty frustrated, right? I mean,
yes,
you put it in there, blitzed in Toronto. I mean, they scored 22 runs against the Yankees in the first 2 games. Obviously, like not winning baseball at all. But if someone would have told you that, Max Fried was on the bump and the Yankees scored seven runs, you'd be like, oh, they won handily. But not that. Today was ugly, man. And I almost at a loss for words.
Yeah, I just I don't know what to say because on one hand, like I think game 1 made it very easy for the same thoughts that's kind of been around since the World Series to come out of like Aaron Judge can't step up in a big moment is easy to kind of have, and that was the first thought I had after game 1, and those thoughts simmered and were like giving me that bad taste in my mouth in game 2. But it's hard for me to kind of sit here and tell you, man, Aaron Judge is why they're down 0-2 in this series. Like I'm gonna look at the pitching first.
Mm-hmm.
Luis Gil gave you nothing in game 1. Tim Hill was better than he was. Camilo Doval was better than he was. First playoff outing with the Yankees for Doval, and he was great. Luke Weaver had nothing. He didn't record his first postseason out until today. Max Fried had nothing in game 2. Like, I'm not sitting here and excusing the offense. The offense was absolutely awful in until they started scoring a bunch tonight towards the end of the game. But like, I could start with the bats, and the at-bats were bad. But Chris, like, how does any team? You can't compete allowing 22 runs. Yeah. 23 runs. Sorry, 23 runs in
23. My bad. 13 and 10.
Like that's and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like the blame game is very hard for me to sit here and like pin it on one guy and it's a hitter. Like if I'm going to pin it on one guy, I'm going to look at Fried if I was going to pin it on one guy, but I can't do that. Like there is so much that goes into being down 0-2. And I think that's the frustrating part. There are not a lot of, they're like not even, what is the positive here? Camilo Doval and Tim Hill, is that it? And who else? Like what else?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the positive is tied to a negative, right? Like my positive is Camilo Doval. Like that game was a close game, and Tim Hill and Doval made it at least competitive through the first 5 or 6, right? Like they did that until the game got blown open because Luke Weaver forgot that the goal of the sport is to get guys out, right? And so, like, for me now, like, the only positive I can pull away is, okay, I trust Duvall and Tim Hill more than I trust Luke Weaver, which I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if that's irrational, but I don't think Luke Weaver has it. So it's really frustrating that the bullpen has been really bad. And then also, like, I love Max Fried. Like, I love Max Fried. I hate that there's no happy medium for him, Ryan. It feels like Max Fried is either really, really good or it's disgustingly bad. Like, it feels like he's not able to allow a couple runs and then fix things and get through a start. And that kind of bugs me a little bit for a guy who you're paying all this money to. Like with Max, it's either really good or really bad. And maybe that's why I think I'm like, I guess my heartbeat doesn't raise as much with Rodon, because I know that Rodon can sustain damage and not go off the rails anymore. And that's not something that Max Fried has been able to show. Like, Max Fried gave up 2, and then Max Fried unraveled the next inning.
Yeah. And again, it just wasn't close. Like, it wasn't close. And you got a super chat here. I gotta respect it. Golden Station, Yankees and Giants were our 13th reason. I turned off the Giants game after they went down 16-14. I was like, I'm done. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to watch this anymore. And it's funny because I was about to fire this tweet off, but I was like, no. Good vibes going into this game. I was like, it's really funny that I turned on the Giant game at 1:00 with hope and got promptly, it got dookied all over. And I'm going to turn on another sports game at 4:08 with the same feeling of like, I've got hope. I feel good.
Well, at least the Giants looked like they belonged on the field for a little bit.
It's kind of the inverse game though. Like the Giants, it was a football game in the first half, and it wasn't in the second half.
No, they crumbled.
The Yankee game was not a game in the first half of the game, and the Yankees, I guess they never really made it a game, but they were doing something. Like it was things were happening. I was clipping. Like I post the highlights on Twitter. I had something to post. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of new, I guess. I don't really know. Again, but like as you mentioned, Max Fried, like there's no happy medium. It was very, 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 very bad. Will Warren was awful out of the bullpen, 4 home runs, like just not good. And he wasn't used in like that bulk reliever, like come into a situation 1 inning, like he had to be used as a mop-up starter or a mop-up reliever. So, he's out for the series essentially at this point. And I don't think they're going to trust him to come in the 1-1 game.
I mean, hell, would you trust him?
No. And but this is kind of the issue. And this is where like I prefaced my like first angry thoughts with I can be very upset at Aaron Judge for that game 1 at bat. I am very upset at it. But dude, this bullpen is why you didn't win the division. This bullpen's why you're opening 2 games in Toronto. Like Toronto's been a house of horrors for the Yankees. Are the Yankees down 0-2 if they're playing these games at Yankee Stadium? I'm not sure. Maybe. But like, dude, the bullpen has been the issue all year. And they were the issue again today in this series. It was a baseball game in game 1. It was a baseball game. And Luke Weaver comes in. And he, I'm pardon my French, he shits himself. It's been the issue all year. They couldn't make it like, I need the bullpen to at least keep it a baseball game.
Yeah.
Like Fried left the game 5-0. Keep it a baseball game. If you keep it a baseball game, I'm not sure if the Yankees win it, but dude, you got to give your team a chance. You got to give them a chance. They didn't have a chance. This bullpen, outside of Bednar, outside of Williams, outside of Duvall, and I'll give Hill his credit. He was phenomenal in game 1. Like, Weaver, honestly, I don't even know if the word's bullpen. Luke Weaver's been awful. Luke Weaver's been terrible. Luke Weaver's been garbage. He's not going to come back next year at this rate.
Do you want him back?
No, absolutely not. If I'm going to sign a reliever, I'll pay Williams. Williams. And you're going to need to invest in relievers because you're going to need, this bullpen stinks. It just does.
And like, it's wild where we were a calendar year ago, right? Like a calendar year ago, we couldn't wait to see Luke Williams in the game, or Luke Weaver in the game, excuse me. And now he's just abysmal. I mean, his first 2 playoff outings, like going on MLB.com and seeing his ERA and you see dashes through it for the playoffs because he had not recorded an out, so he had no ERA, which is infinite at that point, is disgusting. Like, he can't be one of your high leverage guys. And again, like one of the things that I felt, it was like, all right, look, like, if this team and this bullpen pitches up to their potential, this is a really, really good baseball team and going to be really tough out. right now they're not a tough out at all. And if you somehow miraculously advance, which very low likelihood, but if you do, I don't want to see Luke Weaver on the CS roster.
Yeah, and I also want to say this. Like, Luke Weaver, it might be, maybe I'm talking about how much they need the bullpen guys. Maybe it's just addition by subtraction. You can say there are two times in each of the two series where you go, man, if Camilo Doval pitched in this spot, or if somebody else pitched in this spot, I don't know what happens.
Both game ones.
It might, and I know Doval, like, obviously Doval could not pitch in that spot because he had already pitched. But I'm sitting here mostly saying, like, addition by subtraction. Maybe the fact that he won't have to be a reliever for the New York Yankees is better for them.
Yeah.
And I also have to say this too. Like, you know, I'm just at a point with this, like, the pitching staff where, like, the way Fried ended his outing, the way Warren opened his outing, the way that Weaver opened his outing, Fried ends it by walking Miles Straw. Warren opens it by walking George Springer. Weaver opened both of his outings. Not this one, obviously, but both of his previous outings with a walk. Like, the walk has killed these guys. They issue so many freaking free passes to teams that, I'm not saying they can't do damage. Like, the Blue Jays certainly do more damage than the Red Sox do. But, like, the thing the Red Sox didn't have was guys who could, like, consistently kill you. If you give free base runners, the Blue Jays are going to kill you. They put the ball in play. They do it. They hit very well at home. And going into this series, you needed guys to be able to fill the zone and do a job. And no one on the Yankees was consistently able in this series, outside of Camilo Doval, Tim Hill, to consistently fill the zone and go after guys. That's where, I mean, if you look at Doval and Hill's outings, it wasn't made the perfect pitch. It was like, yeah, you know, I have good stuff. I'm just throwing it down. I'm just throwing it, and hopefully it's a strike.
Well, because here we go. What's the Blue Jays' approach? I know that they, you know, in advantageous accounts will swing for the fences, but, like, for the most part, it's like when they get to 2 strikes, they just want to put the ball in play to avoid striking out. And the stance is, all right, I'm gonna pound the zone and hopefully my stuff plays.
Yeah.
So right now they don't like a baseball team that belongs. And then I don't know how much you're into this, but it's weird seeing my New York Yankees look shell-shocked by an environment.
Yes.
That's weird.
They're offensively, they were pressing. I mean, you can't tell me they aren't pressing offensively. Game 1 was a joke. Joke offensively. Wells records a first pitch out. And Gosman's cruising, by the way. Now, usually the rule of thumb is you do not swing at the first pitch unless it's an absolute cookie after a first pitch out. Trent Grisham proceeds to swing at a first pitch, and he really can't pull out of the yard. Like, he's going to have to kind of take it the other way, and that's not Grisham's game. That's not his wheelhouse. And he flies out. First pitch. Like, the at-bat process was terrible. They don't know what to do with a splitter. They don't.
Dude, Ben Rice looks absolutely lost against a splitter. Like, I wouldn't play him against any splitter pitchers moving forward at all. Like, thankfully, like, they're coming back home, and I mean, that's both the Blue Jays splitter guys. But Ben Rice's at bats look the least competitive I've seen from him his entire career. Not just this year, but last year as well.
Dude, Gosman had, like, it was very obvious that Kevin Gosman would throw a first pitch splitter in the second at bat. You want to see the first at bat? You know, hasn't seen Gosman enough to know. Okay, fine. That second at bat, like, if you get that many swings and misses on a splitter against a lefty in the first at bat, you see what they swing at. Like, why aren't you going to try it again? There's no reason, if you're Kevin Gosman, to not try it again. And Rice goes up there and he swings at the first pitch splitter. Like, and it's funny because Rice's at bats were horrible against splitters. But if you look at Bellinger's against splitters, not great. Grisham's, not great. Like, it was an up and down thing. Rice, it stands out the most to me because he was the guy that I think I felt the best of in that group going into the postseason because of how well he had hit, you know, towards the end of the year. The process numbers were better. We saw it kind of turn around a little for him today, but that was against the lesser bullpen that the Blue Jays had.
Well, yeah, I mean, against Trey Savage's splitter, though, he looked bad.
Yeah, it continued today, and the Yankee offense couldn't touch this guy. 11 strikeouts, no hits, 1 walk. He had 10 strikeouts in the 4th inning.
That is so frustrating. That is so and honestly, sometimes it feels like this Yankees team, they forget that them working pitchers and forcing pitchers to get them out rather than them getting themselves out is how you ended up being the best offense in the sport. Like, when they got to Gosman the first time, you know, back in the day, earlier this season, they had an inning where he threw over 50 pitches. Like, that's how they got to Gosman. They made him work. And when you look at it, it's the fourth inning, he's got 34 pitches. It's like, oh my God, like he's not working at all.
The Yankees walked 3 times today, twice in the final inning of the baseball game. So twice in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Inning that just doesn't matter really. If you want to look at, I don't know why it's saying that Friday there were no games on StatCast. Thank you, StatCast. Really appreciate it. Oh, there were no games. It was Saturday. Oh my gosh, that's on me. Sorry, user error, guys. In game 1, the Yankees walked 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 total walks in the team that led baseball in walks, by the way. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Like it's that simple. We saw some Red Sox series against Crochet. They didn't walk that in that game, and that's why they lost that baseball game, folks.
And I excuse it for Crochet, though. Crochet pounds the zone.
Right, but we agree that not being able to scratch a walk across is why they were just helpless. Crochet had them. He had them by their ball sack, but it's Garrett Crochet, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying Kevin Gausman isn't good. Like, I don't want to disrespect the guy who's a good pitcher. Don't get me wrong. Certainly going to finish inside the top 6, 7, 8 in Cy Young voting in the American League, like somewhere in that range. He had pretty good numbers this year. A lot of volume, like good pitcher. But we know that this has been a theme for the Yankees this postseason. They walked just twice against the first 5 pitchers they saw against the Red Sox in game 2. And then what was the inning in which he turned it around? Jazz Chisholm starts with a walk. Bingo. And Whitlock walked somebody else. 2 walks in 1 inning against Whitlock. That was the go-ahead hit. So, or go-ahead run being scored that inning. Like the Yankees, when the team in baseball works walks the way that they're supposed to work walks, good things happen. You need to get on base. The Yankees have not gotten on base. They simply have not gotten on base. It's that simple. That simple.
And again, it leads to just quick innings too, so you don't get to bullpen sooner. And that's the other part of this as well.
Right. And again, it's just like, it's a something that really, it just bothers me how they haven't been able to get on base. It bothers me how they haven't been able to get it going. It bothers me that like they haven't put up, like they haven't looked competitive offensively.
Yeah.
Again, they scored 7 runs in this game. They did it against pitchers you will not see in this series unless the game is out of reach. It was embarrassing. It wasn't good enough. And again, I don't understand how you can continue seeing this happen. And I see again, there's a lot of easy people to blame. Oh, it's Hal Steinbrenner. It's this guy. It's that guy. Yeah, like I'm not a necessarily strong believer that like Aaron Boone has to come back. If the Yankees fired him and they lost this series and they fired him, I'm like, who cares? Like probably, changing the voice, whatever.
I'm a player's guy, so I don't know. Right. We haven't had this philosophy talk yet. I'm a player's got to play better guy.
That was where I was getting at.
Okay.
Aaron Boone didn't give up 5 runs when he wasn't down 5-0 when he walked off the board. That was Max Fried.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge didn't swing a splitter in the dirt with bases loaded, no one out, and a 3-2 count. Aaron Judge did. Aaron Boone isn't Will Warren. He isn't Luis Heel. He isn't Luke Weaver. Like, he isn't on the field. You could put Casey Stengel in there. You think you think Max Fried's pitching better because his manager's better? No. He's got to pitch better. It's that simple. That simple. The Yankees can't be without, or I don't know if that changed. It's probably changed today, but entering play today with the same average as a slugging percentage, run score position. Can't win baseball games like that, folks. Just can't do it. You could say like, well, if Hal spends more, like you got a higher payroll than the team you're playing. You haven't faced a team that you have a lower payroll than. This is supposed to be the number 1 offense in baseball in terms of runs scored, on base percentage,
OPS.
slugging percentage, OPS. Like, I'm not saying, I understand league average, the offense drops. Like the league average OPS in the postseason is between 680 and 690 over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But it should at least translate to being one of the best offenses performance-wise in the postseason as well. And that has not been the case since 21. They have been consistently a poor offense in 21, even relative to league standards. So I don't know. It's on the players, in my opinion. I would agree there. That's kind of the point I'm getting at here. It's on them. They got to turn it around.
Yeah, I'm a players guy. Like everyone in this chat, everyone that we talk to can acknowledge the Yankees players did not play even to 20% of what they're capable of playing. Like,
No.
they played a terrible game, and so I will always give it on them. Because, like, going into the playoffs, you would say that Max Fried was worth the money. Going into the playoffs, you would say that Rodon had a good year. Going into the playoffs, you would say that Cody was worth it. Ben Rice was worth it. Trent Grisham was fantastic. Like, going into the playoffs, you would say that all these guys are very, very good players, and we would also say we would match them up against anybody. Now, if it was like a bullpen decision in a close game, and it's like, okay, like, I can hear some of the Boone criticism. Like, I think Boone, managed game 2 of the Boston series not very well, but I thought he managed game 3 and game 1 pretty well. So me, it is a player's thing. I agree. So I guess the hope now is, before you even talk about like winning the series, I think that the number one thing is, like, can this team avoid not getting swept?
Yeah, and look, the Yankees, it's just such a tough spot, right? Because I could sit here and say, well, on paper, the pitching matchup, like, maybe you can get to Bieber. You should be like, the Yankee offense in the regular season did X, Y, and Z against right-handed pitchers. In the postseason, they've been dog shit.
Yeah.
They've been horse shit. They haven't had a game with good at-bats outside of their at-bats against the B tier of the Blue Jay bullpen. That's like if we were like sitting here and going like, wow, man, hyper-analyzing like Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s at-bats against Paul Blackburn.
Yeah,
it's
never
useless
do it.
for the series.
Literally
Useless.
can't do it. Can't do
right.
it.
Max Fried has to be better. Max Fried was atrocious. That's a fact. You're gonna need Rodon and Schlittler to be great in this series. If you want to have even a chance.
Dog, isn't it crazy if we get Schlittler again, it's gonna be also like another Elam game. Not a final Elam game, but I mean, if they win, we go home.
Well, what I was gonna say was the Yankees are gonna play the Yankees are in the same situation just in general. Rodon and Schlittler.
Yeah.
As they were in game 1, in terms of like being down in the series. They've also been in this spot before. In their most recent 0-2 deficit in an American League Division Series was 2017, when they went down 0-2 against the then Cleveland Indians, now Cleveland Guardians, before winning that series and going on to the ALCS. The difference is, I think, number one, they competed in those 2 games. They weren't competitive in these games at all, not even remotely close. And I don't know if this is a hot take. Number 2, well, it's not that it's different, but the reason 2017 that series was special is because it's unlikely and it's improbable what happened.
Yeah.
That is the same case here. It's happened before. We've seen it before. It's great. It's awesome. But what makes it special is not because it happens every year. It's because it barely ever happens. So, Chris, how are they going to get out of this deficit if they're going to do it?
Well, I mean, it's Bieber, right? And they are very familiar with Bieber, who has not been as good this year as he has in previous years. Obviously, coming back from injury, traded from the Guardians to the Blue Jays. You just can't get swept at home, man. You can't get swept at home. And honestly, like, I think Yankee fans want to see Cam Schlittler pitch one more time. And so before I'm going to talk about winning the series, win game 3. You're at home. Rodon's been a horse all year for you. I mean, the bullpen should be pretty fresh, considering you didn't have to go to any of the A arms today, and you get a day off. Like, you got to take care of one to show, I guess, yourselves even that you can believe. And, like, also going back home, I don't want to see you looking shell-shocked. Like, they look shell-shocked the whole, like, the first 2 games in Toronto. The moment looked too big, and the moment has not looked too big for them at home, it feels like. So you got to beat Bieber, man. And Rodon Bieber is going to be a good matchup, should be a good matchup. And I guess, like, you just kind of hope and pray the offense that we came to love all year shows up.
Yeah, and I've also got to say this in terms of, like, the shell shock factor. Number 1, Carlos Rodon. Hey, I don't think he had a great game 2 start, but he did give us a winning performance. He gave us something that we can compete with.
Bingo. Wait, what he did in game 2 is what Max Fried is not given me in forever. It's like, when Rodon's not good, can you labor me through innings?
When Rodon's not good, you can still win the baseball game. You hardly ever lose a baseball game because Rodon took you out of the game.
And that's new. because 2 years ago, Rodon was taking you out of baseball games.
1 year ago. Like 2 years ago. 1 year ago, he was taking you out of games.
Last year a little bit too. Did the sun come up? Yeah. Did Rodon lose you this game? Yeah. Both of them.
And again, he doesn't have to be spectacular for the Yankees to have a shot in this game. But I think for him being spectacular, look, on paper, he doesn't have to be spectacular to win this game. But given what I've seen, Rodon, you're going to have to be special to win this baseball game. You're going to have to pitch like you're pitching with the Pirates. Pitch like you're pitching with the offense you've seen in the first 5 games.
Yeah.
You've got to be special. And if it gets to Cam Schlittler, man, I like that he's getting tested again. I like it. I like the idea of him being tested again. But I'm gonna say it. I've said it a million times. I'm gonna say it again, and I know every single time I've said it, it's never resulted well. Look, LeBron James went down 3-1. What did he do? Greatest 3-game stretch you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
When Tom Brady went down 28-3, one of the greatest quarterback performances in terms of like abbreviated in a game you'll ever see. Michael Jordan's never really experienced deficits, I'd say.
But if you take it to baseball, the Guardians blew a 3-1 lead to the Cubs.
Yeah. Look, and you know what I'll say? It was obviously like baseball's a team effort. You don't remember just one individual performance.
Right.
But you remember collective performances. You remember Ben Zobrist's big hit in Game 7. You remember Chapman up until Game 7 was lights out, nails money. You need a collective performances for sure. And in baseball, I'll give you another example. When the Los Angeles Dodgers last night were dead to rights.
Yeah, they were.
And Teoscar Hernandez took one swing and changed the script. If you want to look at you want to look at the last years with the Yankees, they needed a hero to step up. Cam Schlittler stepped up. Like, you're going to need people to do something they haven't been doing all year, or not all year. Excuse me, something they haven't been doing all postseason that they have done all year. That's what you need. You need the team that you saw, the Jekyll and Hyde Yankees, to be for it's kind of flip, right? You're going to need Aaron Judge to step up. Sure, you're going to need a lot of guys to step up. Aaron Judge could go. Aaron Judge went 2 for 4. No, he went 2 for 4 with a walk and an RBI today. Nope, wrong game. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. My box scores are all over the place, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Aaron Judge went 2 for 3 with 2 walks.
Yeah,
in this game.
His OPS is, I think, like over. It's like 930.
It's over 1,000.
It's over 1,000 right now. I checked halfway through.
Like I'm gonna be the first to say, like, the leverage of those hits are like usually either low and not really impactful, and a lot of them are singles. But it's to say that, like, I'm not telling you that a certain stat line is the key to the Yankees winning, but it is to say that, like, you need, like, hey, Bellinger, good swing on the home run, didn't matter at all. Like, it was a completely meaningless spot, but you're gonna have a game that, like, you're gonna make an impact in a playoff game. We need you. Giancarlo Stanton, he's been great in the postseason throughout his career. Yo, dude, you got a 440 OPS this postseason.
He's been bad this postseason, man. I wasn't anticipating him being bad.
Trent Grisham's been a complete 0. Nothing. Nada. Nothing. You gonna step up? We need you. Look, I'm hoping to have a good day today, but I'm not looking at him.
No, dude,
been awesome this postseason.
Playoff Volpe, he can do nothing the rest of the postseason. I'll feel like, all right, you did it for us.
Right. Look, my point here is, like, if Aaron Judge goes 3 for 4 tomorrow, on Tuesday, you can lose by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that can still happen. This is not the NBA. This is not even the NFL, where a quarterback throws 4 touchdowns, 400 yards. Very high chance of winning that day. Aaron Judge go 3 for 4. I don't think that guarantees a win or anything close to it.
Didn't we see that today?
That's exactly it. Aaron Judge was great today. Didn't change anything, or at least great in his at-bats. You can't even say, well, he only did it in low leverage. He never had a chance. Like, Aaron Judge didn't take a single high leverage at-bat, except for, I guess, the first inning where he walked. The only good PA they had against you, Savage. like his only at-bat in which he had a chance to give the Yankees a lead came in the first inning. His first at-bat. The Blue Jays hadn't even hit yet. So, hard for me to, like, what am I going to ask him to do? Hit 15-run home runs at that point? Anywho, you need Rodon to step up. You need you know what your bullpen is at this point. Chris Weaver's out of it. Out. I know we got him in here today to try and get him right. Boone, I cannot see him on Tuesday or Wednesday unless you're up. If you're up 10 runs, I'll see him. If you're not, don't want to see him. Doval is ahead of him in the depth chart. Dude, Tim Hill, I don't think you just lefty lane him at this point. Like, you want him to see as many lefties. Like, I don't want a lane where it's righty, 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 lefty, righty. But if it's like lefty, righty, righty, I'll take that lane.
Me too.
I'll take that lane. That's fine. The Blue Jays have a ton of lefties.
You're going to need this version. You're going to need a better version of him, right? Because teams are going to game plan to avoid the lane for him.
Yeah. And the Blue Jays, the thing is with the Blue Jays, they don't have like a lot of hard counters to like lefties in terms of like off the bench guys. Not saying they don't have a good offense. That's not the point here. It's just to say that they don't like. It's not like the Yankees where like they can platoon like 4 guys in like one inning, like that. I just need I need Aaron Boone to kind of shift the agenda. I kind of need him to shift the order a little bit here. Duvall's my guy. Duvall's my guy right now. He's my guy.
Dude, Duvall has not let up a run since the Boston series in the regular season. Like that, from that shutout start, he's been no runs since then.
He's doing the Clay Holmes special, which is, hey, I throw hard, I have good stuff. I'm just gonna miss in the zone if that's cool with you guys.
Stuff monster, dude. I like Duvall a lot. And honestly, like that, he was my favorite bullpen ad at the trade deadline, mainly because like whenever I see 101 with a slider attached to it, dude, I'm in. I'm all the way in. Obviously, like Bednar's the most impactful, but I think it's time to elevate Duvall to that.
Look, Camilo Duvall this season in terms of like ERA, FIP, expected ERA, like he's either matching up with or surpassing what you got from Luke Weaver this year. And so I kind of bucket them similarly. Duvall had a shitty August. Weaver had a shitty August. These guys were both like hot in the final few weeks of September. Difference is Weaver's no longer hot. Duvall's hot still. Duvall still got like the gun's still smoking for him, you know? And you ride that arm till it dies. I said it in Boston, in the Boston series. I'm going to say it again. Like, if you lose a series because Camilo Duvall blew it in the 6th, I'm not going to blame Boone. And I say that like every single time. You know, I say it every single time in like streams. Like, I'm not going to kill Boone if you lose a game on like Devin Williams. I'll kill him if he loses a game on Luke Weaver. Verbally, of course. That is
no,
obviously talking verbally here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if what would make you less upset? Like Duvall going out there and blowing a game, or Weaver going out there blowing a game?
Yeah, if he brings out Luke Weaver in game 3 in a tie game, unless it's in the 11th inning or even the 10th inning, like you burned your whole bullpen, whatever it may be, dude, I'm gonna sit here and tell you, even if they won that baseball game, the same way I did in game 2 when I thought he didn't manage very well. Yo, he didn't manage this game well at all. And you're either A, lucky to have won, or B, yo, he cost you a baseball game potentially. But I'm always going to look at the players first. I think, you and I align very similarly on the whole player thing. We are this podcast is never going to be like Aaron Boone is why you lost a baseball game every single time they lose a baseball game, which I think creates credibility. And when we do say Aaron Boone did play a role in you losing a baseball game, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm a players guy when you got this kind of payroll, and I'm here we go. Like to blame Aaron Boone for today when like Max Fried, your ace, was bad.
Yeah, like again, is Aaron Boone supposed to execute a fastball, not walk David Schneider with
Aaron Boone walk those guys?
Yeah, like let's not do that, please.
The only thing I'll blame Aaron Boone for is for guys maybe not looking ready, but like at the same time, like these are all pros that you're facing a guy who's in his 4th or 5th start. You got to go get him. You got to go get him.
Yeah, and again, like all the credit goes into, I got to give the Blue Jays credit. It's not just a Yankees failed to execute thing. They've beat up on the Yankees. That's what they've done. But like the Yankees, they can be better than this. Like it goes both ways,
Did you like them lining up Trey Savage for game 2 instead of Shane Bieber to keep Trey at home?
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't care either way for them. Like, I don't think it was like a great or a bad move. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like feel any type of way towards it, but I've got to give him credit. He was absolutely electric.
I don't know if you
absolutely electric.
I don't know if you heard the broadcast, but they were talking about like how the Yankees didn't really have adequate time, as much time as they would like, to hit off them with the trajectory machine. I didn't know if you had an opinion on that.
I think it's really, I'm going to be honest. Like, I think it's more nuanced than I might think. Like my initial thought was you never, at no point did you like during any matchup against the Blue Jays think, in case he comes up, let's take a couple swings, or like during the off day. But you got to also think, guys, they had one off day. Like if I'm using the trajectory machine, I'm dialing Garrett Crochet because I'm not thinking of Trey Savage. Like, could you imagine if the Yankees
came out
that they were like, yeah, they were gearing up to face Trey Savage and they got blanked by Garrett Crochet a day later? Holy shit! Like I would have lost my mind over that. Yeah. Right. So I'm gonna sit here and say it's more nuanced than I think. I'm not gonna let the fan in me. Like the fan in me, I'm not gonna let Chris. When you said it, my first thought was, "There's no fucking way. There's no way."
Well, my thought was like, how brilliant is that? Because like I have gone down the weird rabbit hole because I'm like an obsessive, like let me learn about things. Like the trajectory machines, like the amount of data they need to like efficiently be able to like produce things. It's like really high level, like really, really high level. And you get the more someone pitches, the more data you get on things in terms of like arm angle and all that kind of thing. And so like if you're cutting down time and like look like Shane Bieber has all the pitch mix in the world. Like we know what Shane is. I'm saying there's enough data on Shane, and a lot of these guys have seen Shane. I think it is brilliant to pitch Trey Savage a day early if that even went into it. But I thought that was definitely meaningful in some respects. But obviously like a really nuanced thing. I don't want to make excuses, but just like a good side note to like what baseball kind of is right now.
Yeah, and we do have a super chat, and I think there are messages attached that weren't attached. Yanks need to clean house. Enough is enough. It's enough. What are your thoughts on like? I don't want to get too off-season centric here. I don't. Yeah. But it's a question. I'm going to answer it, right? Like that's the rules. That's the rules of engagement here. If the Yankees lose on Tuesday and they're home and it's over, are you touching the front office? Are you touching the managerial staff, the coaching staff? Like, is there anything you're doing there?
No, I'm not touching anything. Like,
you're not touching anything.
I don't know where you're at. I don't know if this is me like coping as a fan, but like the things that like people like to blame Aaron Boone for last year was what? Defense and base running. This year, the defense was far better. The base running was far better. And there's about a 30% chunk of Yankee fans, like I can go name them if you want. I have a bunch of bookmarks that proclaim this season over before it started with the injury of Garrett Cole. People proclaim this thing over as soon as, Clark Schmidt got hurt. So, I mean, the fact that Aaron Boone and Cashman did a good enough job to still have people's expectations sky high after people thought the season was over. Like, I think that's a good job. It's a moral victory, and like things need to change and things need to get better. But I'm not going to hold my. Here we go, Ryan. Do you think the hitting staff did a good job this year?
Yes, I think that James Rousing is a very good hitting coach.
Do you think that Matt Blake did a good job this year?
Yeah, I think that the guys who stunk are like the one guy who like really like took a step back was Devin Williams.
Yeah, and Devin Williams' underlying metrics are all fantastic.
Right. It was he took a step back in production
because not even the control is much different. Yeah. Like his walk rate's similar to 2 years ago when he had the best season. And then the next thing is, well, is the base running okay? Do the fundamentals look better than they did last year?
In the games that matter, yes. Like the games that matter, which are playoff games, the answer is clearly yes.
So like for me, I'm not cleaning house. And then like I don't want this to be like super offseason centric. Do you have faith in the farm next year?
Yes.
I think the farm has a lot of guys that don't. So I'm not at the point where I'm not cleaning house because I kind of believe in this plan. And I think that the worst thing they could do is have all new faces behind the scenes with what next year's team I think will look like.
I always said I thought the 25 team would be better than the 24 team. And despite Soto leaving, which was I thought he was going to stay, and Cole being hurt, I think like in terms of just like in terms of like roster talent, I think I was correct on that take. I think that was not an incorrect take. And I'll also say this in regard to like cleaning out. Look, again, would I be okay? Like if the Yankees fire Aaron Boone after a hypothetical loss on Tuesday, I'm really not gonna like be the Yankees screwed it all up. Like I can understand it. I think the new voice argument is like something that I don't know if I can quantify, but like an argument that I guess, it's like an I guess. Like I don't care about managers enough. I think that's kind of my ultimate take.
I also generally think managers are overrated just for like my own personal reasons.
But like in the GM context, is Brian Cashman isn't too far away from retiring even. Like, why would I fire him knowing that, like, I kind of need a successor? I want to kind of make sure I can keep signing free agents. I just don't see him as the problem guy.
Also, like, we've been Yankee fans for a while, right?
Yeah.
Cash is not going anywhere.
I think that, like, it's clear that good GMs can have bad years, and I don't think Cashman had a bad year.
But also, like Cash is not going anywhere. Like this is the Steinbrenner's right-hand man. Like he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think he's going anywhere. I was just curious to get your thoughts on it. Again, I think for Boone again, like I sort of don't care. I think that's where I just don't care. And now and with Boone, like again, if people want to say that you want a new voice, I can hear the argument. I just don't care.
Right.
And we have another super chat from Ben Vargo. As your in-house Rangers fans, I still strongly dislike the Blue Jays from the Bautista area. You got them right where you want them. Well, I got to say with the Blue Jays here, I mean, I don't think they're a more insurmountable force than the Guardians. And I want to thank Ben Vargo again. Ben, Always love seeing your face on these
Shout out
streams.
Ben. Ben flew up from Texas to Columbus this weekend to come
Really?
rock out at a live show, dude. So I got to spend some time with Ben. Love Ben.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's all. I love that. But yeah, I don't think. Is it like maybe I'm being like again I'm always guys, I'm gonna get my hopes up regardless. Like that's just who I am. I'm gonna get crushed a million times. Like I'm just gonna have expectations and hopes because it's who I am. You know. Do you think the 2017 like Cleveland, whatever you want, like Cleveland was not like a worse team than this Blue Jays team? Like that 2017 Cleveland, I'm gonna get the name messed up. That 2017 Cleveland team was awesome.
I think
Corey Kluber killed us.
2017 Cleveland was better than this Blue Jays team.
2017 Cleveland like felt like it was gonna be them and the Astros. That the whole season was waiting for those two teams to collide in what would have been an all-time great ALCS, and instead, it was over.
The 2017 Guardians were better than the 2016 Guardians.
Yeah. One more games. Like Corey Kluber was unbelievable that year.
Yeah.
And Bauer shut us down in game one or game two. Yeah, game one. Yes, it was game one.
And was
game one.
Yeah.
And you had, Kluber, dude, that year, 2.25 ERA.
A horse too, dude. A horse.
Yeah, he was and he owned us. He had our number until. Well, I honestly didn't have our number in that series. We kind of beat him up that series. Carrasco was awesome that year. Like I just remember that 17 team being incredible. Not again, what the Yankees did that year was improbable. And any conversation about what they did that year needs to be underlined with that context. What they did was improbable.
Yeah.
But improbable is not impossible.
Bingo. I like that.
Yeah.
Anything else you got, dog? I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Chris. I just hope I don't have to do the end. Like, I just don't want to have. It's just such a sour taste in your mouth, man. It's just like especially after a high of game 3 against Boston. Like, if you end up winning one game of these first two, like, would you have been mad? I would have cared. I would have been like, whatever, you know? Just don't end it on this note. Like, come on, don't make me look back. Like, don't make me hate how this team finished the year.
Let me see Schlittler one more time.
Yeah. Yes. You know, that's what I always kind of regret about the 2014, by the way. That they gave me such a sour ending that it took me a while to appreciate it in hindsight again. I hope this team doesn't do that, and I hope we do see Schlittler again. I'm gonna have something either with Chris, Sam, or all three coming out before Tuesday, guys. So this is not the last time you hear from us until game 3. Gosh, oh man, I wish it was game 2. But hey, it's not over. That's all I got. It's not over, and it's happened before. Yeah. So those are my two
parting thoughts.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Yeah. Killed us. Anywho, we'll see you guys in the next one. You guys know to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and of course this YouTube page. Make sure to check us out at our personal Twitter accounts as well. I'm at Ryan Garcia ESM. And Chris is at Christopher Drew _. It's with a K and an R. Remember, not a C and an H. We're not going to keep doing that at some point, guys. So when
whatever you decide, it's cool with me.
No, you guys just got to know at that point. And you can check out EmpireSportsMedia.com, your one-stop shop for written content on the Yankees, Giants, Knicks, all your favorite New York sports teams. If you just want to relive your torture, just go there. Because at this point, that's what it is. I didn't even mention Jet fans. You poor souls. You poor souls. Anywho, we're going to get out of here. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out, and let's go Yankees.